Hi everyone, Pam here. Welcome to Tapa Podcast. Today we have a very interesting guest, Mr. Arthur. Hello, Mr. Arthur.
Morning, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, and yourself?
No complaints. Yeah.
Guys, we're here. Um, we're always discussing matters of great importance to us. Today we're talking about unemployment and the economic climate of South Africa. But first, let our guest introduce himself. Mr. Arthur, who are you? Where are you from? And what brings you here?
Okay, my name is Auther, emanate from Eastras in Pretoria. Currently, I'm a pensioner. My last entity of employment was with BMW, where I basically spent 33 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm in a supportive role for one of BMW suppliers on a casual basis.
Okay.
I was basically required to be here by our dear friend,
Okay.
one of your coordinators,
Okay.
just to give some insights and input in terms of the unemployment scenario we are challenging with within South Africa at the moment.
Okay. So, what do you think about the climate now, with the rate of youth unemployment being so high?
Yeah, if you look at, I think from a statistics perspective, the current unemployment rate in South Africa, it's at on average 33%.
Yes.
It is about 8 million people in total. And youth unemployment sits at 60%,
Mm-hmm.
which constitute of a total of about 4 million. So in terms of the total ratio, 40% of the unemployment rate, it's falls within the sphere and the category of the youth, which is quite
So,
a
which means
disturbing factor.
so it means of all the youth that is graduating this year and that is matriculating this year, half of them will be home next year.
If you look at it from a percentage perspective, the stats that's available, if you do a theoretical application, yes, that might be the challenge we'll be faced with.
Okay.
It's a highly possibility.
Okay. So how do we move from where we are now and try to get to a better place?
Yeah, that is a challenge of note. I think it needs to start basically with terms of our leadership from a government perspective. And up to now, I could say the democracy that we are confronted with here, the so-called democracy, the ANC per se failed dearly, if we can say it like that. But up to now, really, I could say, really from the ANP's perspective, the willingness, the eagerness, determination to bring about change is not really there.
Ah,
But also when we are confronted with challenges, I think it should be say as a layman excuse, blaming it directly on the soldiers of the government. What about us? Having a forum like this, what can we do? Is the first question we should ask. What can we do? People with the knowledge, with the expertise that are in the industry, that are experience what's going on. What change can we bring about? That should be maybe a starting point from another perspective.
okay. So so as I hear that the government is failing us and it has failed us dismally, right? But what about the one person who matriculated last year or who just graduated last year? They're not finding work, they're putting in applications, there's no responses. What does that person do? And where does that person go?
I think we the problem as we confronted with, as I said, not much has been done to create opportunities for the future generation
Okay.
from a government perspective. And if you look at the employment market, we can virtually say it is basically saturated. If you look at what is, there's a program, the YES program, I don't know if you're aware of it,
Okay.
whereby I think I don't know, I don't have the stats around me,
Hmm.
but that is basically a pool of graduates where, and it's a program where the government, in partnership with the private sector, are offering them sort of like an internship to work there 6 months, 12-month period. And should there be an opportunity arises within the industries
Mhm.
where they are deployed at, then they might be employed. But that is just like a fluke shot, you know.
So
Putting
there's no guarantee of employment.
There's no guarantee of it. The market is virtually saturated in terms of opportunities available. But then the other end is from an entrepreneurship, what can we do there as well? I think there's a lot that can be done. If you look at what's happening in our economy at the moment, like the xenophobia
Mm-hmm.
demon that we sit with, we just want to kick people out. But
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the people that you mentioned earlier, that if you look at the people from Sub-Sahara, they come in here as entrepreneurs. And the industry, if you just look at the clothing industry,
Mm-hmm.
although, and I think sad thing about it, it's basically fake clothing these people are putting onto the market. And sad to say that the people who are feeding and supporting that market are black South
It's
Africans.
us black people.
And if you look at just from the suppliers' perspective in Johannesburg,
Mm-hmm.
that there's stats on it that shows that that is a $5 billion industry per annum. So that tells you a lot. Opportunities are there. We just need to sit back and open our eyes and start becoming creative,
So,
thinking out of the box.
so basically, I think what you're saying is the youth should move away from an employer-employee mindset and
Exactly.
go more into the entrepreneurship direction.
Exactly that. We need to shift our paradigm because, like the people from SADC, we are laborers per se. We believe in a culture of go to school, obtain your education, go look for a job, and we get stuck there.
And I think it's only us black people who
No,
have
I
that
think no, it's not really. That is the cultural mindset of all inhabitants in
in the
SADC.
sub-Saharan
Yeah, if you look at
Africa.
that, even if you look from all race, the entire racial categories within
Mhm.
the country, that is what everybody is doing. It's not to say you're a white guy, you're a black guy, colored guy. But people tend to believe, no, I must go look for a job and forget about the opportunity to create employment for yourself.
Okay, I see. So, how do we bring about this change of mindset and how do we start moving the paradigm?
You see, that is a question which I think it needs to be driven from a higher level.
Okay.
Individually, our mindset, as I said, our mindset, everybody's mindset is like we are trapped in this cultural belief that you must go look for an employment. So where do we start changing our paradigms? I think it should be something that should be propagated. This forum that you currently running
Okay.
should be escalated to another level and a higher level. But what you should do is like consult with guys like us that maybe got a little bit of understanding what's going on,
Okay.
and then we develop a framework, and then we escalate it to a higher level, and then we start propagating. Get that message back into schools, get that message back into our households. Start to say, look at opportunities different from what's been stereotyped of living culture,
So the
and make it
message we should actually drive out there is that they used to look at opportunities, what value they can bring into the market, that they can make a living for themselves.
exactly. And as I said, what the so-called querequeres, the people we want to chase out of our countries, we must learn from them
That's
because
so true.
they are making serious money and unfortunately not even contributing to the fiscus. There's not 1 cent of the money that's coming back into the coffers for the state,
So
and they're living the life of the I mean, they're living a life here which they can only dream of living in their own
that
countries.
is so true.
So we need to wake up.
So after you've been working for over 44 years, right? So I'm asking myself, after you retired, right, and then you went back into consulting with businesses. What I'm asking myself is, why did they come and get you to do the work instead of getting the youth that is sitting at home and graduated and that have no work? Essentially, you went out, went home to rest, and then they fetched you back.
I think the challenge for the company that I'm currently supporting is that they had a very young guy there. He was
Mm-hmm.
still in his 30s there. But now here comes the challenge for the company. The company is in Durban. That guy is the face, he's the representative of the company
Mm-hmm.
to the company suppliers here in Pretoria. And he need to be the image,
Yes.
the integrity, the value what the
Mm-hmm.
company presents. And unfortunately, as a young guy, he failed in his task.
Oh,
And that brought the company's reputation with his suppliers
okay.
in disrepute. And you know what that means. A
Yeah.
company can lose business.
Yeah.
You understand? If you're not. So that's why for him as a young guy failed the company to employ a much more matured, accountable person with integrity that can really take care of the company's image, integrity from a trust perspective. That is the venue the company had to follow,
So,
unfortunately.
so
But
essentially,
also remember, it's not on a permanent position. It's just
no, I understand that.
yeah.
So essentially, what it means is that most younger employees are irresponsible a little bit.
No, not in that. We can't stereotype and generalize.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you know, it's like you starting your a venture or invest money in a project,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a person of trust taking care of it
Mm-hmm.
from a certain genre, a certain age group. Then because that person messed up, it doesn't mean
It doesn't apply to everyone in the
you
age
cannot
group.
stereotype and say everybody in this
In that is,
category
yeah.
genre is going to do it. It is just from a safety perspective to say, okay, let us take somebody which we believe are more trustworthy
Okay.
because of the challenges the company is confronted with.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean to say that is a deadline to say no. If
Or if you are
one, yeah,
young, then you're
yeah,
gonna do this.
it's even to say now because people from your ethnicity or
Your
people
ethnic
or
background.
yeah or from your country.
Okay.
You see, you cannot generalize and say all people
Yeah.
from this country is behaving like that.
Okay.
That's stereotyping and it's wrong. No,
Nah.
yeah, we should
Okay.
not.
So yeah, I wanted to ask you as well. In your whole 44 years of working, what have you learned? What are the things that you've picked up in your whole entire journey that you can share with our audience that you think are important to know?
I think when you're in the employment market, remember you must look at the perspective as the company has a contract with you
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that you are maintaining or taking care of the company's philosophy, beliefs, and the product they put into the market.
Okay.
So, firstly, you must be a person of good integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Good integrity brings in factors like you need to be trustworthy,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be reliable,
Mm-hmm.
you need to show that you are committed to the objectives, the dreams, and the goals of the company by your daily conduct. Make sure you're taking up your task seriously, you complete your task diligently, be punctual, be a role model. Don't go stand there and say, no, what is in it for me? You are engaged with a contract and you must be serious with your contract. So your integrity must drive you as a person. And I think by having those basic philosophies as a principle of living your life, then you'll always be employable as well.
Okay. Oh, so Arthur, in conclusion, what can you leave us with? What can you leave our viewers with?
So as I said, basically the employment market, one can virtually say it's saturated. There's only few opportunities available. So as I said, we should learn from our so-called guys from which we consider as our square and
Mm-hmm.
intruders in our country. They are really making a killing in the entrepreneurship. I said that's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And sad to say, the black population of the country are funding that industry. We should learn from that. We should become more entrepreneurial, create opportunities, and not looking for opportunities because
Mm-hmm.
there's no such thing as a freebie anymore. That's gone and dusted. That mentality of waiting for a boss to get a job to go sit at somebody's door at a street corner, at a industrial site, sit and dream. Make it happen. Opportunities are there. And a forum like this should actually also start shifting their paradigm and looking what is wrong, but coming up with solutions.
Okay.
And said, okay, we looked at this, we developed this platform here. As I said, there's funding available. PIC sit with trillions. Everybody are squandering that money. If you look around, the IDC that's funding. What we need is ideas to make it happen. Then we can change the world.
Okay, guys. So you guys, you heard it yourself. So please, let's go out there, create, come up with the ideas, move into entrepreneurship. Who knows? Maybe you can be the one who's employing people. So thank you for joining us on Tapa Podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Thank you for joining us. Tapa Podcast, giving hope a voice.